earlier, Chef David showed us how to make the perfect peelable hard-boiled egg. So while we're here in the Northwest Natural Appliance Center, we decided to make some deviled eggs.
Some deviled eggs. And most people think of deviled eggs, they just think of just mayo and mustard. And that is really good. But you can do so much more with it. You know, basically, you just take the yolk, and what you're going to do is you're going to add some kind of a fat. You can add mayonnaise, creme fraiche, sour cream. Then you add flavors.
These are so yellow. How do you get
they're
them so yellow?
Basically, it's cooking a little bit longer than you normally would. Makes it go from orange to yellow. You're normally going to use about a quarter to a half a cup for 6 eggs, which is what you have there.
Okay.
And one of the tips that I tell people is that when you cut an egg, use a knife and then have a glass of water to dip it in, and then wipe it on a cloth. And then that way each time you're going to get rid of the yolk that's
so you
actually
get a clean slice around the edge.
Get a clean slice,
gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, well, I've added my mayonnaise. No,
that's fine. So what you have is you're going to use mayonnaise and you're going to use truffle oil and then a little bit of cayenne. You're going to mix that all together, and then we'll pipe those, and then you're going to add chives as a garnish when we're all done. And the one that I'm doing actually has red pepper in it, and it's going to have a little bit of sherry vinegar and the mayo. And one thing that's important is you want to be slow on adding any of your wet ingredients, because as you add them, you don't want to make the eggs too wet. Otherwise they don't stand up and look nice. So like with mine on my red pepper, this puree, you could actually dry it out a little bit by straining it. Otherwise you could wind up with something that's really runny and not very attractive.
So after you've got it all mixed together, that's when you would then put it into a bag to pipe it.
You put it into a bag to pipe it.
Okay, let's get this done.
Okay. And I'm going to add just a touch, and I'm going to measure on my sherry vinegar because it's pretty powerful, and if you add too much, it really overpowers it. But see, mine's got that beautiful color. And what I did, you know, everybody likes to have their yolks really smooth, and what I did is I took the yolks and I pressed them through a strainer, and it doesn't take that much more time because you're always mashing anyway.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So mine's looking pretty good. How's yours?
Mine's done.
Okay. Well, I say we get ready and we start piping.
Okay.
All right?
All right, I've got mine in the piping bag.
Okay.
And you know, it helps when your partner brings the right tip.
Yeah. A tip is to make sure that you give them the right tip. Hey, but it still works. It still works.
You could just do this with a Ziploc bag. You don't even absolutely have to have a tip.
In fact, and mine with the spoon are just coming out okay too. You can use whatever you got.
So it's about the garnish with these two, isn't it?
It is. The garnish makes it really nice. And for myself, with mine, I like to use a little smoked paprika. You can just use some cheesecloth and put the paprika in it, use 1 or 2 layers, and you can just sprinkle it on so you just get a real light dusting. And it just makes it more festive and look nicer.
That's a nice trick.
And for yours, you have?
I have chopped fresh chives, which make it very pretty as well. They're kind of strong. I can smell them.
I smell the paprika. And then we just set these on the plate.
And it could be any pretty plate. You don't have to have one of those fancy egg plates.
No, no. And they do have them so that they sit better. And I'll tell you, that's probably the biggest thing is that they don't wiggle around.
Now, these can be served anytime, can't they?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I think that deviled eggs are pretty hot right now. Everybody likes deviled eggs, and doing things like, you know, roasted red pepper or truffle definitely adds to the elegance of the eggs.
It could be an appetizer, not just for brunch, for dinner as well. All right, are we going to do this?
I'm going to do it.
All right.
Let's go.
Perfect.
Not bad.
Truffle oil. Woo.